Did you know that according to a 2023 study by payroll.org, 78% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck? That means over 3/4 of the population are struggling to save or invest. Now, this is due to a lot of different issues, the cost of living not keeping up with wages and other economic factors, but honestly, it's also because some people are just dumb with money. Standard & Poor's conducted a study on financial literacy and found that 57% of American adults consider themselves financially literate. So that means that 43%, or nearly half of our population, does not consider themselves financially literate. And that's not good. And that's why I'm going to break down 5 ways people are dumb with money so you can avoid these common pitfalls. Let's look at the data. Now picture this. You're walking down the Walmart aisle and something catches your eye. It wasn't on your list, but it's something that you could use or you might even just like. And into the cart it goes. Or how about this? You're scrolling on social media and you see an ad for something that eerily fits what you want or desire. Maybe it's a really cute shirt, pair of shoes, or a new gadget that's totally going to save you so much time and money. You're curious and click on the ad and are taken to companies' websites, and in a few easy clicks, boom, you've just participated in impulse shopping, along with 84% of all shoppers. Whether it's at a physical store or online, impulse shopping can get us anywhere because we are emotional creatures and skilled marketers know exactly how to target us. What ads will resonate or what price point is just right for us to add to cart, and that's why the number one dumb money mistake people make is impulse shopping. Almost all of us are guilty of it. Remember, I said 84% of all shoppers do this. It's very easy to fall into. So, how do you avoid impulse shopping? One technique that I've seen a lot of people recommend online is actually shopping online. I know that sounds counterintuitive, especially when 40% of all impulse shopping is from e-commerce, but that depends on how you're doing that online shopping. For example, let's say you go to Walmart or another store's online site to do a pickup order, and you know exactly what is on your list. You add your items and then stay focused on not adding anything else. Now, Walmart and other stores are going to try to say, hey, what about this item? You bought it last week. Do you want to add it again? Or have you seen this product? But it can be easier to say no when you're in control and on your phone or laptop. Research has shown that grocery stores and department stores alike are strategically designed to wear you down. They make you walk all over the place finding what you need, so that by the time that you make a decision, you're already decision fatigued and more likely to impulse or emotional shop. That's stripped away when you use an online shopping app and are specifically looking to get items on your list and what's on your budget. And remember, that $2 candy bar that you might have bought if you were in the checkout aisle, well, that element is completely removed if you order online. But you have to be careful too, because like I said, those online stores are trying other tricks and marketing tactics to get you to add more to your cart than you actually need. And it can be so easy to overspend with just a few clicks or taps on your phone. That's why at the end of the day, with a lot of these dumb money mistakes, it boils down to discipline and willpower, and not being sucked into things like impulse shopping. So let me know in the comments below if you've ever used an online shopping app or website to do a pickup order instead of actually going to the physical store. And do you feel like that saved you money, or did you overspend? The next dumb money mistake is a huge problem right now. Credit card debt, which comes from people misusing their credit cards, or in another way, it's overusing your credit card and not paying it off each month. In 2022, Bankrate did a study of over 3,000 people and found that 2 in 5 of the respondents have either maxed out their credit card or have come close. A lot of this can be contributed to a struggling economy and people having to use their credit cards for grocery bills and other daily expenses, and then the debt just keeps increasing as they're unable to meet their needs. But another piece of the pie is millennials and Gen Z participating in something what is called doom spending. So what is doom spending? It's the practice of spending like the world is going to end tomorrow. Gen Z and millennials across the board feel so hopeless about their financial futures, believing they will never be able to afford a house or start a family or have what their parents had, that it seems like nothing they do matters. And if nothing matters, just spend your money on what makes you happy. A study by Intuit Credit Karma found that 27% of all Americans do what is called doom spending. But the majority of those doom spenders were Gen Z at 35% and millennials at 43%. Doom spending can include buying luxury items, going out to eat frequently, or getting the next best trendy thing. Saving and paying down debt doesn't matter because nothing they do can change their situation, or so they believe. It's really sad that so many young people believe this and are making such poor financial decisions because of it. Yes, times can be hard and they can be tough for many Americans, but you can always make a difference. It takes hard work, but it is possible to get out of debt and get into a better financial situation. I think credit card misuse is tied to overspending like doom spending, but another big contributor could be misunderstanding how debt works or not taking debt seriously. The current average interest rate on credit cards is over 25%. That's going to snowball your debt in a terrifying direction. I don't think people realize that paying interest really just means that you're paying the credit card company. So your credit card bill is your money plus paying the company 25% to use their money. And why would anyone want to give away nearly 30% of their money? If you have a large debt balance on a card, you should pay that down as soon as you can. Stop giving your hard-earned money to credit card companies. And the way to use a credit card is to always pay it off after you use it like a debit card, but that takes discipline. The third way that people are dumb with their money is that they live above their means. I feel like it's somewhat similar to doom spending and how people want a lifestyle that they simply cannot afford, so they end up in debt or in really bad financial situations. One way people live above their means is by becoming house poor, which is where your mortgage payment is a lot higher than it really should be. Lance Surety Bonds conducted a survey just a few months ago in August of 2024, which found that 32% of home buyers identified themselves as house poor. A common rule of thumb is that your mortgage payment shouldn't be more than 25 to 28% of your take-home income. But for house poor people, that number could be closer to 50% of their income, which becomes a heavy burden with the other cost of home ownership. And if you add on top of that other kinds of debts like student loans or car payments and credit cards, it really begins to have a heavy toll on these individuals. Speaking of car payments, this is another way people live above their means. Buying brand new cars that are way out of their price range. I actually did a video about this if you want to go back and look at it. A good rule of thumb for car payments is for the payment plan to not exceed 36 months or 3 years and be no more than 10% of your monthly take-home income. And it's best to put down 20% for the down payment. Some people have called this the 20-40-10 rule, which is basically the same thing, except plan for it being a 4-year note. If a dealer is trying to sell you on a car where your payment plan is more than 10% of your income and it goes beyond 4 years to pay off, you probably should run away. You can't afford it no matter what he says, because math doesn't lie. People also live above their means by trying to appear more affluent or rich than they really are. Social media has a way of driving this up. Keeping up with the Joneses can look like wearing brand clothing or having the latest phone. You really do get the picture, but all these expenses catch up to you, especially if you're overpaying on a mortgage or rent and your car and putting all of these expenses on a high interest rate credit card. This is how so many Americans end up in such poor financial situations. But it's also hard to blame so many Americans because there is such poor financial literacy in our nation. So do yourself a favor and subscribe so you can learn more and keep avoiding these dumb money mistakes. The next dumb thing that people do is not having an emergency fund. According to Bankrate, this year in 2024, 1 in 4 Americans don't have an emergency fund. It's crazy that people don't have any money saved just in case that something happens like losing your job, a medical emergency, or a large car repair. The list can continue to go on. And when an emergency does strike and you don't have the money, guess what? You have to go into debt. It either goes on a credit card or you have to take out a loan. And then there's just another burden added to the pile of debts. So please, I beg of you, get an emergency fund. Make it a top priority to save up for something. A good place to start is even just having $1,000 set aside just in case. The next step would be to save anywhere between 3 to 6 months worth of your living expenses. That's for all of those emergencies that I listed previously. Just so that you don't have to go into debt, you have the money there. The fifth and last dumb thing people do with their money, at least on this list, is not investing early enough. Obviously, I care about investing. I'm a financial planner that works at a financial firm. It's what we do. This seems to be mostly a trend among the millennial population who started investing in their 30s. But recent data and reports show that Gen Z is doing much better than the millennials, investing a lot earlier with plans to retire a lot younger. A survey conducted in January on 4,500 US adults showed the average Gen Z started saving for retirement at the age of 22, whereas millennials were age 27, Gen X 31, and baby boomers at 37. A lot of this can be attributed to the internet and influx of finance social media influencers and content creators, kind of like me. encouraging young people to invest and take finances seriously. Gen Z has also witnessed the millennial generation struggle with student loans and buying houses. They don't want to be in the same position. And there could be a multitude of other factors. There are plenty of people out there making smart financial moves, and there are plenty of people making really dumb money mistakes. And now you know more about what to avoid and what to do so you can be in a better position for your future. And if you want more information and data on how a brand new vehicle is a wealth destroyer, check out this video right here.